Somebody, what's somebody, what's somebody, what's somebody, what's somebody, what's somebody. Hey guys, what's up? It's your Molly Hamilton online. Dab on and let's get it popping like popcorn, honey. I definitely stole that from a mentor of mine, but it's okay. It's never here or there. Let's keep it moving. All right, guys. So here's the menu for 2022. First of all, how I even came up with this was I was sitting in the studio, last photo shoot of the year. My plans for 2022 was definitely different as of December of last year. Until I kept hearing, I usually listen to a lot of people who became great over time and the method that they used to become great. And I kept hearing the great Kobe Bryant talk about the menu and how he became great over time. And from the age of 15 to 17, he created a menu for himself within the basketball world of things that he wanted to do in order to become the greatest player. And he accomplished it. So, I want to be one of the greatest. I want to be the greatest coat makers to ever live. I really want to change the game with coats and jackets. So that's my forte. That's my thing. So I listened and I listened and I listened and I listened and I said, I feel like he's talking to me. And I said, well, I didn't say. E.T. the hip hop teacher said, shut it down. Huh? Shut it down. Shut it down. Huh? Okay. I'm going to be obedient. Because also I'm very spiritual. And one thing that I know about people and about a lot of stories, well, a lot of biblical stories, is that a lot of times God speaks to people and, you know, they walk in the wilderness. Listen, don't quote me on this story. I often fell asleep during preaching. However, from what I remember, is that a lot of people walk through the wilderness following the voice of the Lord. And one thing that I said is that I kept hearing it and I kept understanding that this was being applied to me. Not only that, I was able to take a step back and look at what I was creating and realize when you know that you can do better and when you know you can be better, you do better. And I was not happy because that was not my greatest work. And of course, this is just my way of doing it. Everybody's different. But when you're understanding your capabilities of something, then you know what to do. So taking it back, I graduated in 2018 in George Brown College from fashion school. Great school. However, if you're a person that has a skill, you know that a lot of times your skills are actually developed after school. You know, school, they have a curriculum, and God bless that it's such an amazing program. However, the skill had to be processed over time. And one thing about when I graduated from school was that my main goal was just to make sure that I continued to work in the field of sewing. It didn't matter what it was. I just needed to make sure that I was learning and understanding machinery. I just wanted to be surrounded and engulfed by only sewing. So that is exactly what I did. I got work. Listen, let me tell you something. If you flew on a WestJet airplane, you probably sat on a seat that I sold. Okay, if you bought a new house somewhere in Canada, or maybe I don't even know if they're in the US, your basement probably has some insulation that cut up your girl's hand. Girl, let me tell you something else, okay? If you got married in 2019, I probably sold an applique on one of y'all dresses. So I was just taking anything that was coming, sewing, boom, I got it. Sewing, because I wanted to only be surrounded by sewing after. I didn't want to lose the skill. So every time I had a little break, I would come and I'd build the studio, what you see behind me. Of course, your girl was a college student, so we got a lot of bills to pay, okay? And building this was a lot of money. So there you go. There you had it. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to be engulfed in. But as soon as the time got closer and I was able to, you know, spend some time creating my portfolio, building my brand, that is what I was focused on. Building the business, building the brand, etc., etc. And that is what I did. In 2019, I think I became my own business owner. So I was only working for myself because just wasn't making enough from sewing, and I was just getting so hurt doing sewing. So figuring out a new schedule and becoming a new person, a new business owner, and then also building the business. So what I realized after thinking about all of these things is that I've never taken the time to be extraordinarily practiced in making coats and jackets. over time, I never stopped. I continued to practice drafting, but there's one thing when you have a life where you can only do it so often to help continue building the portfolio. So in 2022, I made the decision to build my portfolio. So that's the most I've ever sat down and drafted and this and that, and just continued to focus on making jackets. However, still working and still having to use a lot of my time outside of that. So in 2021, the plans for 2022 were a lot different than what it is today. And a lot of things made me definitely stop this decision. I was feeling it inside, like I said, but also losing a client for me was one of the things where it's like, well, I want to be in a position where my work cannot be denied. No matter what, where or who I was around, my work would be noticeable. But in order for that to happen, this year had to happen. What is it this year? This year for me is to become extraordinarily practiced in making coats and jackets. And that is it. So Mel, what have you been doing since January? Since January, I've been stacking up on the coins because coats and jackets require material and a bunch of other things. And we're living. I wanted to make sure that as soon as April hit and I was sitting in the studio, that nothing would take me away from it. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So if you message me and I haven't responded, this is the reason why. But I'll talk to you next year. And I still love you guys. And I wanted to just say this because you don't have to really take this route. This is the route that I needed to take, because Melanie Hamilton Online, the brand, is not just for me. It is for my children to come and for my family and my friends and just everybody that I love around me to understand that if you have a dream, it is possible. And I want my nieces and my nephews and my cousins and everybody to understand that that's also possible. And it's a brand that it's going to live for 70 something years. But in order for that brand to be birthed and even have a foundation, that depends right here. And if the foundation is not steady, okay? Because when Hurricane lick in Jamaica and you didn't put that cement down hard in the ground, your house was getting lifted. But for those who had that cement base, the good up cement, we stayed on the ground. And we sat in the back, ate oxtail and dumpling, and made sure that the oxtail sauce was there. Gravy. So basically what I'm saying is, this is the path that I decided to take for this year. Of course, the plans were different. Sometimes you have to, not everyone's going to be happy with your decision. Not everyone's going to be happy, but at the end of it, they will understand. And what I saw bigger than anything else was the end of the road for this, and I was going to do whatever was necessarily possible to do. I want to be the greatest coat maker. I want to be the greatest jacket maker. I want my jackets to stand out in any crowd. I want somebody to see a jacket that I've made from 2 miles away and know that it's a Melanie Hamilton Online jacket, period. So in order to do that, listening, and I kept hearing E.T. say, shut it down. Sarah Jakes said, thank you for Nietzsche for sending me this. The dare is not to get, the dare is to become. And success is becoming obedient to what's in you. And what was in me was the fact that I needed to become extraordinarily practiced in my field. And I was responsible for that job. I was responsible in doing that. And I knew sometimes it's very hard if you're a business owner and you know that you as a business owner are the person that needs to be fixed. I needed to be fixed as a business owner, and that was okay for me because the end result of it is going to be worldwide. Anyways, guys, that's basically 2022 for you. I wanted to share it with you because I wanted to know, maybe this, if you're thinking about it, this is not everybody's journey. Some people could go through different ways, but if you're ever thinking about it, because listen, if I didn't hear him say that, if I didn't hear a bunch of great people who have accomplished their dreams kept saying that to me, I wouldn't have done it, right? I wouldn't have known. Or even if I ended up doing it, it'd probably be later then. So I definitely always want to push back knowledge that I'm given. I want to always push back what the world gives me, because we are, one thing Disney got right was the circle of life. So the circle of life is like this. But don't worry, guys. I have not left y'all hanging. I want you guys to understand that you already know how my brain works. I'm 10 years ahead of it. So I definitely have something in store for you guys to stay and hop on for 2022 online. I have something in store for you guys. So check out on Friday. I'm going to be releasing one of my babies that I actually started years ago. And I was able to put it together because I worked towards the actual vision of what I saw it being. I had that in store for you guys. So I'm excited to show you guys that. And if this video has helped you at all, if you were thinking, girl, I need to just sit down and like, on my craft. If the video helped you, which I really hope it did, or if the video helped you, because I really hope it did, then make sure that you do the same and you create that circle of life. And you go to whoever's around you and you say, listen, 2022, you said this is your year. You said this is your year, right? You said this is your year, right? You said this is your year, right? So why you ain't doing 120? Why you ain't doing 120? It's 30, 60, 90. Okay, I'm done. But if it has helped you and you need to turn to somebody and also give that advice to them, drill it. Because this talent that you have was given to you by the Creator for the world. It wasn't just for you. It was for the world. And it is your duty to live in the purpose that you were here for. I believe that this is my purpose. I believe that what I'm doing will change a lot of lives around me, and lives that I don't even know exist, and lives that haven't even existed yet, i.e. So thank you guys again, and I'm just so in love with you guys in terms of support and love, and I am excited to, girl, first of all, we're already in April. I can see the end of the year. The year is not that slow. The year is about to end just now. So make sure that every time you get up in the morning, every time you wake up, and anytime you open your eyes and you are realizing that you still have another day to actually work and get onto what you love to do, you're blessed with that. Every time I get up, I say, thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to continue to go after this, because you know the same way that I know that my work on earth is not done. So guys, that is 2022 menu. You guys have a blessed 2022, and I will see you in 2023. But make sure you go and follow at Melanie Hamilton Online. Also, follow at Melanie Hamilton Presents with 2 S's, because somebody took the one with 1 S, and it's okay, girl. I don't know you guys, but it's okay. It's okay, girl. It's okay. It's all good. You can take the S's. Eventually, I hope you don't take it. I could take the S back, but it's with 2 S's at MH Presents, because that is going to be my creative direction page, and that is also an exciting time for me. You never know how many things have been boiling up in here to create. Okay? Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Love you, and shut it down. Create a menu.